Speaker's announced policy of January 4th, 2021. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Texas, Ms. Jackson Lee, for 30 minutes.
Let me thank the Speaker for his courtesies and begin with a clarion call. The Speaker wears many hats, and we have been in meetings where we have focused our legislative prowess, legislative questions on voting rights. And so I think it is appropriate to begin today to say that a crisis is pending. I'm stunned by this decision. I am aghast. I will not use the word enraged because action requires a calm and contemplative mind. But today, the Supreme Court upheld voting restrictions. They might have written it and said they upheld voting laws. They upheld voting restrictions in Arizona and signaled that challenges in new state laws making it harder to vote. My God, I'm going to say that on this floor. Making it harder to vote in spite of the constitutional privilege that is ensconced in 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment that generates into the states the dignity of humanity, that citizenship's birthright is the right to be precise in your desires of your representation. And then it signaled in this article that challenges to new state laws making it harder to vote would have a hostile reception from a majority in the justices. The vote, just as we expected. All of the court packing has bore fruit. Give me for, I wanted to be on this floor speaking eloquently, if you will, about a myriad of things. But 6-3 vote, not even a light of difference. 3 that were not appointed by Republican presidents. And then, of course, the packing by the former President of the United States. And by the way, I just want to make a public statement. I know the First Amendment has its privileges. I asked the media to call the former president the former president. He is not the President of the United States. He's not president and his name. He is the former president. He is not president and his name at the border. He is the former president at the border, creating havoc. And havoc was created with this 6-3 vote. The decision was the court's first consideration of how a crucial part of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 applies to voting restrictions that have a disproportionate impact on members of minority groups, and it was issued as disputes over voting rights have taken center stage, and how we are still suffering from the Shelby case of 2013 that indicated that the Section 5 Provision 4 is unconstitutional and has left us with no tools, to deal with this. As Republican-controlled state legislatures increasingly seek to impose restrictions, new voting rules, we are in the fight of our life. So I'm on the floor of the House today to indicate that there is no divide in any of us thanking the Congressional Black Caucus, Chairwoman Beatty, on the urgency of voting rights, and the Judiciary Committee, and the chairman of that committee, the subcommittee chairman of that committee, and all the members and staff. We needed this decision to be able to craft the record that is going to withstand and fight the battle and be able to pass what the Supreme Court cannot undermine with its decision. In fact, we must thwart its decision. We must protect the vulnerable. We must not allow the disabled to be videotaped in Texas. We must not allow the hungry and thirsty to be denied water and food in Georgia. We must not allow judges to overturn willy-nilly the elections in Texas. And we must not allow, if I might, the idea of, we must not allow the idea of a former officer of the United States, in fact, the chief officer of the United States, we must not allow that person to make mockery of the order of government. There is but one president of the United States, that is President Joe Biden. There is but one vice president, Vice President Kamala Harris, and they are effectively leading this government and this nation. They are caring people. President Biden is, as we speak, either there or en route to the enormous tragedy in Surfside, Florida, to provide comfort, but also to provide the strength of the federal government in any investigation that will proceed. That is the able work of the Florida delegation and this president. They will do their job, particularly those members who represent that area in Debbie Wasserman Schultz and many other members.